The head of an Iowa religious charity has admitted to using donations to fuel his sex addiction. Now, according to federal prosecutors, Jon S. Petersen of Cedar Rapids pleaded guilty Monday to one count of filing a false tax return. Now, of course, that's related to his charity. Now, Petersen, 55, is the longtime president of World Ambassadors Limited, a nonprofit he founded with his wife in 1993 to provide a Christian outreach to international students on college campuses. Now, in his plea deal, Petersen admitted that he had moved $475,000 in donations from his charity to his personal checking account between 2010 and 2014. That essentially drained virtually all of its funding from that charity, according to prosecutors. Now, this whole thing started back in 2013, and it's what he's getting hit for, when he failed to report $114,000 diverted from the group as taxable income. Whoops! He kind of left that part out as he was taking all of that money and putting it into his private account. I mentioned that he diverted nearly $500,000 in 4 years from his charity to his own private account. Now, Petersen claims that he did that because he struggled with a sex addiction over the last decade and decided to start using donations to pay for it, along with credit card debt and home equity lines of credit. Boy, that is a lot of sex. I mean, look, there's not a lot of details on what he actually bought. Could it have been prostitutes? Yeah, maybe. Porn? Oh, almost certainly. Whatever it was sex-related, according to him. But man, $500,000 on a supposed sex addiction. Now, that is a serious amount of money, especially coming from money that wasn't his. It wasn't supposed to be his. Now, there is a debate of whether or not sex addiction is actually a real thing, but it seems like the effects are pretty real. These are people who are described as engaging in sexual behavior that damages themselves and or their families. Well, I'm thinking that this is going to damage his family quite a bit. This guy could go away for 3 years because of what he did to fuel his so-called sex addiction. Now, I don't know, as I said, if it's a real thing. It's not in any of the DSM-5 manuals, right? It's not coming out as a real disorder. But then again, on his side, why would he claim to have a sex addiction if it didn't really work as a defense? I don't know if it'll work as a defense in court. Maybe it will. Maybe I don't know the court system enough to know. But what I do know is that, of course, there should be consequences for this. Remember, he stole nearly $500,000 from a charity. Now, that charity has some goals that are somewhat questionable, right? Christian outreach for international students on college campuses. To me, that sounds like you're trying to convert people. But hey, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's just like, I don't know, some sort of church service for somebody who doesn't have anywhere to go on campus. I don't know. But hey, regardless of all that, that does not make stealing this money from the charity's donors at all correct. Now, as I mentioned, this charge carries up to 3 years in prison, and Petersen may be required to pay restitution to the group's donors. Now, that right there, I think, is incredibly appropriate. Pay back the money. You should have to pay back the money because it wasn't yours to begin with. You stole it. There's got to be some sort of restitution. Now, hopefully, this guy does that, pays back the money, does his time, and maybe gets some help. If this is a real thing, if he actually really is addicted to sex, then of course, this guy should get some help. He should get some serious help. And they should also make sure that when he does get out, he shouldn't have access to other people's money ever again. And I think that's the right way to go.